Bone density is a part of our health that is unique compared to other aspects of health. The health habits that are proven to help us avoid heart disease, diabetes, and cancer aren't necessarily the same habits that help us keep our bones strong. In this video, I'm going to share why people of all ages should care about their bone health, including you, and I'm going to share what is proven to work for strengthening your bones. Low bone density is a concern in many places around the globe. Osteoporosis and its precursor, osteopenia, is a big issue in many places, including Mexico, Australia, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, and South Korea. What exactly is osteoporosis? It is low bone density. It is the hollowing out of the bone. The outer shell of the bone becomes thinner. The inner part, which is known as spongy bone, which looks like a honeycomb, becomes more hollow as well. The issue with osteoporosis is that a bone becomes more likely to break when it is under a situation of stress. People who are more likely to develop osteoporosis are those who haven't exercised much during their life, have a lower body weight, and are above 50 years old. The discussion of bone density typically tends to focus on older adults. However, everyone should care about their bone strength. Bone mass starts decreasing in our mid to late 30s. Granted, we may not notice it until decades later, but the problem starts well before our 60s and 70s. Our bones grow in thickness and strength until our 20s. If you're in your teens or 20s, you can increase your bone density's peak growth by taking certain actions. If you're in your 30s or beyond, you can stop the loss of bone density. So, what impacts our bone health? Let's first start with what accelerates your loss of bone. Being entirely inactive. People on bed rest lose bone very quickly. As we'll soon talk about, stressing your bones is a positive for building more bone strength. Another is smoking and drinking. Smoking can directly lead to a loss in bone, especially in key spots such as the spine and the hips. Alcohol has the same impact. Drinking can also lead to nutrient deficiencies, including lacking key micronutrients that help build your bone strength. Also, if you're worried about your bone health, I have advice for you. Do not go to space. Astronauts are known to rapidly lose bone density due to the lack of gravity, which is a helpful factor. If you don't have gravity, you don't have constant stress on your bones, which helps you maintain your bone density. Avoid becoming an astronaut. Let's jump to what is believed to help your bones, but does not actually really help. Aquatics and water aerobics classes. Water exercise is a popular choice for older adults since they are extremely safe. They have low injury rates and they put very little stress on the joints. Aquatics, though, does not improve your bone strength. With water exercise, there's a lack of gravity and a lack of stress on your bones. Multiple studies show that water exercise does not build bone density. What can help? Impact sports, such as running, tennis, and soccer, build bone density in the lower body. These sports feature stress on the lower body bones repeatedly, which reinforces the body to deposit more calcium in those areas. The most important exercise, though, is strength training. Strength training, aka lifting weights, aka pumping iron, stimulates bone growth in two ways. First, it adds bone density where the tendon attaches to the bone. So when you contract the muscle, your tendon pulls on the bone, and where your tendon attaches to your bone will stimulate your body to put more calcium in that area. More importantly is the second way that strength training can help your bones. The stress of lifting weights slightly bends certain bones in the body. For example, if this is the bone in your thigh, when you're performing an exercise such as a leg press, the bone bends slightly, and your body takes this as a sign that the bone is not strong enough. Therefore, it'll then deposit calcium in the middle of the bone, strengthening and thickening the bone itself. I'll come back to strength training. One other important area when it comes to strengthening your bones is nutrition. Consuming enough protein, calcium, and vitamin D all help with increasing your bone density. Protein helps muscles grow, which in turn can help your bones grow. Calcium is a nutrient that bones are built from. However, calcium is deposited in two places in our body, our bones and our blood. That's why vitamin D is so important. Vitamin D is critical because it increases the absorption of calcium in our bones. Vitamin D is argued as the most important nutrient for bone health. Here are my recommendations if you're looking to strengthen your bones. Strength training is the most important. Strength train at least twice per week. Train all major muscle groups, including pushing movements. Examples of this are the leg press, chest press, bench press, a squat, a shoulder press, any kind of pushing exercise. This is an important detail though. You must lift challenging weights. Lifting light weights can help your muscles grow, but a few studies indicate that light weights do not impact your bone density. Challenging weights equal weights that you cannot lift for more than about 10 or 12 reps in a set. Choose weights that you can only lift about a maximum of 5 to 12 times. Also, go for walks on most days, if not every day. Walking does not strengthen your bones, but it can slow down the loss of bone itself. Finally, address the key diet principles. Eat a daily amount of protein that equals 70% of your daily weight. For example, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should consume at least 70 grams of protein per day. If you weigh 150 pounds, consume 105 grams per day. If you're 200 pounds, consume 140 grams of protein per day. Vitamin D, consume 800 to 1,000 IUs or international units per day. If you're over 60 years old, you should consume even more than 1,000 IUs per day. Where can you get vitamin D from? It's the S's: supplements, salmon, sardines, and sunshine. When it comes to calcium, consume 1,000 or more milligrams per day. For any person above 70 or for women above 50 years old, this recommended amount increases to about 1,300 milligrams per day. Sources of calcium include yogurt, milk, tofu, sardines, and salmon. Most importantly, avoid going to space. I'm Dr. Preuss. Thanks for watching this video.